Hey guys, what is going on? This is Wrestlelamia, back with another episode. Join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at the 12th April edition of the Blue Brand, as well as the wildest wrestling news stories you need to know, including, is the Bloodline about to blow up? Jon Moxley makes history, Rock planning out match with Cody? What's next with Natalya with her contract expiring? And more. As always, we won't recap the matches, but look at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. The good. Losing has consequences. Losing has consequences. Words of wisdom from the Bloodline's wise man Paul Heyman that Solo SIKOA quickly captured for his use. Solo's actions were the electric shock the Bloodline storyline needed to snap back. Tama Tonga's unexpected appearance was fantastic, and best of all, the WWE kept fans in the dark about just what is going on and who the tribal chief is. The Rock and Roman Reigns are gone for now, but it looks like fans have plenty of reasons to tune in for the Bloodline. New champs victory laps. Tonight's Blue Brand gave its champions time to revel in their wins, whether they were new champions or US champion Logan Paul retaining. The wrestlers' respective promos connected them with their fans, such as Cody and Bayley's promos, or angered the fans, A-Town Down Under and Logan Paul. On a side note, major props to whoever created the Logan Paul Levesque era comment. A great WrestleMania follow-up. Is pro wrestling soap opera for men, as observers have labeled it? There's some merit to that argument, but there's no doubt that pro wrestling involves serial storytelling where one episode flows into the next, at least when it's booked well. This week's WWE TV, Raw, and Smackdown was a supercharged springboard to send the WWE storylines moving ahead for the rest of the year. Whether it was new teams such as Jade and Bianca, or a major shakeup to the WWE's top faction, the WWE gave fans plenty to look forward to. Solid qualifier matches. The WWE has done a good job establishing that title shots are rarely handed out, although Bayley seemed generous tonight, which means the company has a go-to storytelling tool for building matches without any storylines behind them. However, that doesn't mean that the matches aren't entertaining, nor does it mean storylines can't be incorporated into them, as seen by LA Knight and AJ Styles ending up as finalists. Cargill-Bianca team is good for both. Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair as a team? More please. On paper, Bianca Belair shifting to the tag division may seem like a step down, but it's actually good for her and Jade. Jade Cargill is still learning the WWE style, and pairing her with a pro like Bianca Belair should help Cargill improve more than she would as a singles performer. Finally, the team sets things up for an eventual feud between Cargill and the EST, a feud that should be nothing short of spectacular. Tiffany Stratton is over AF. Judging from the crowd reactions, Tiffany Stratton really is the center of the universe. It hasn't taken Tiff long to connect to the fans, and if WWE can find an exciting program for her that doesn't involve a championship, which seems premature, her success seems guaranteed. The bad. Solo should have spiked himself. As good as tonight's Bloodline segment was, it suffered due to Solo SIKOA's losing streak. If the WWE planned this story out ahead of time, which it seems to do with anything related to the Bloodline, why turn Solo into a chronic loser only to position himself into a major role? Your theme sounds great. On mute. Wrestlelamia recently commented how awful WWE's entrance music is, and tonight's latest edition gave fans another reason to reach for the remote and hit mute. Get the shovel for Cameron Grimes. Poor Cameron Grimes, the talented NXT talent, just can't seem to catch a break. Grimes has been counting the lights ever since his call-up to the main roster, and it's disappointing to see such a talented wrestler misused. As good as Triple H's booking has been, it's clear he still can't manage a large roster. The downright ugly. Nothing ugly, as Smackdown exemplified everything a show should do after WrestleMania. It's clear WWE isn't resting on its laurels after an epic mania, which should make for some exciting action as things head into summer. Bloodline about to blow up? Topping today's news is the shocking arrival of Tama Tonga to the WWE and his inclusion in the Bloodline. Fans are already speculating what Tonga's presence means for the Bloodline and who is directing things. However, Tama may just be the start of more talent joining Solo SIKOA and company. A recent report from Fightful Select notes, thus far we haven't heard any info on if Tama's brothers Hikuleu or Tonga Loa are targeted by WWE. However, Jacob Fatu has been signed by WWE and was backstage at WrestleMania. One idea that had been floated internally as a possibility was Fatu teaming with Tama Tonga. Their fathers Haku and the Tonga Kid teamed together in the 80s as the Islanders. Jacob Fatu's arrival is imminent, but will he join forces with Solo, or perhaps help Jimmy Uso? The internet wrestling community is already buzzing about a possible Bloodline Civil War Part 2 and how Roman Reigns will fit into things. WWE relaxing rules on language? It's a new era in WWE, and whether you call it the Triple H era, the Renaissance era, or the why'd it take so long to get rid of Vince era, there are clear changes to the WWE product, including the use of more profanity. However, just how far should fans expect wrestlers to go with their use of so-called salty language? Dave Meltzer commented on this in the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter. There's a recognition in WWE that going further in the direction of allowing top talent to not adhere to PG guidelines will draw a younger audience, as it did 25 years ago, but they also don't want to be in a position where sponsors are squeamish, so it's a balancing act. While Diamond Dave's comments aren't profound, they do raise a serious question. How much leeway is the WWE giving its wrestlers and announcers with the use of swear words it didn't use before? Does WWE require them to get clearance before using certain words? Or does the WWE believe its wrestlers know what's okay? If it's the latter, it could open the door for problems as wrestlers and commentators get too comfortable and accidentally drop an F-bomb or some other controversial word. The WWE seems to want to enjoy the Attitude Era's popularity, but it needs to remember that the WWE also had to deal with Crusaders. It's one thing to capitalize on free publicity from a self-styled moral avenger, but when these campaigns cost advertisers, it's an entirely different situation. The latest Uncle Howdy Easter egg. Is Uncle Howdy returning to WWE? Fans have been speculating about this over the last couple of weeks since WWE has dropped Easter eggs that the late great Bray Wyatt's creepy colleague is on his way back to the WWE. The most recent hint on Smackdown was a glitch containing this message: "You forgot about us." What's noteworthy is the use of the plural us. Should fans expect Uncle Howdy to bring some friends with him, and could that include Alexa Bliss, who has hinted that her WWE return following maternity leave is imminent? Rock planning out match with Cody? Is The Rock working out a storyline for his match against Cody Rhodes? That's the report from Dave Meltzer. There are also ideas The Rock's presenting if needed to defend the People's Belt, and obviously, from the way the angle on Raw went down, that could be a belt versus belt deal since they each held each other's belt. What do you think of a title versus title bout? Let us know in the comments below. Jon Moxley makes history. Jon Moxley has made history. While Moxley didn't show up at WrestleMania 40 as some fans expected when the Shield's music played, Mox did something no one else has ever achieved. Moxley defeated Tetsuya Naito at Windy City Riot to capture the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. This makes Mox the first wrestler to have held the WWE, AEW, and IWGP championships. Jon was his usual humble self going into the match as he remarked, "In all likelihood, I'll probably only get one shot at the IWGP Championship in my entire life. That's fine, I'm only gonna need one." Congratulations to Jon Moxley on his latest success. Another WWE contract expiring soon? Who is the latest WWE superstar who could become a WWE alumnus? Fightful Select is reporting. In recent months, it's been reported that Drew McIntyre, Becky Lynch, Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, and others have their deals coming up much sooner than would typically be the case before negotiating. In addition, we're told that Natalya's WWE deal is also up within the next couple of months, and talks have not taken place between the two sides. Natalya is the company's longest tenured female wrestler. Natalya is one of WWE's most versatile talents and is the epitome of a wrestling carpenter, someone who can make any opponent look great. Although it's been a long time since Natty held a championship, her status as a former women's champion and tag team champion, as well as her pedigree as a member of the Hart Dynasty, makes her perfect for the role of gatekeeper, a veteran talent who faces new talent and makes them look like dynamite. It's unknown what the future holds for Natalya, but she would be a valuable addition to AEW, given her name and capabilities. Cody sends a shout out to Brandi. Last but not least, Cody Rhodes' Smackdown promo featured a short shout out to his wife Brandi. In case you missed it, Cody remarked, "Who the hell told you tonight was open mic night, bitch?" This was a throwback to an episode of Dynamite where Brandi Rhodes confronted Jade Cargill and uttered those words. What do you think of Cody's comments? Well guys, there you have it, WrestleLamia's look at the 12th April edition of Smackdown, as well as the wildest news, stories, and rumors you need to know in wrestling. Be sure to leave your comments, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time for some more wrestling content.